The talk show host is Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's kind of like the guru, the king of the conspiracy theorists. And he's been on the air since day one saying that this is a job by the FBI. It's a false flag job. You heard the reporter question as to whether it was false flag job, meaning, is this just, they're twisting it around to make it look like it's something else, another entity, but it really is the government. It's so sick, and this guy's an idiot, and, the people at the press conference totally ignored it. I think that they didn't throw him out.
I think that this internet stuff with this access now that people have has made more crazy people, because people who are borderline crazy now go in there and become crazy.
You can get your crazy opinion heard, and this guy's on 60 stations, AM, FM. He's on the internet, and he's got a lot of followers. He's got a big website. He's considered legit among the crazies.
These guys are mostly associated with a popular conspiracy theory talk show called InfoWars. The host of the show is a man named Alex Jones. Yesterday afternoon, Matt Drudge, who's the purveyor of the most influential conservative website in the country, the Drudge Report, yesterday afternoon, Matt Drudge tweeted this. He tweeted, "I've privately told friends that this will be the year of Alex Jones. One hell of a broadcast in such a homogenized media." Again, this is from the most influential figure in conservative media who is not named Roger Ailes at Fox News Channel. And this is the guy he's now endorsing, saying it's this guy's year.
You know what it's like to go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers and you bastards are probably going to end up killing me one day?
Hate speech. Now Facebook is apologizing for allowing it worldwide. But can anything be done to stop the hatred, which is directly linked into the IRS Tea Party scandal? We'll have a factor investigation.
Alex Jones is using this so he can be more popular and more people will talk about him.
I don't know what he is, except a conspiracy theorist.
Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
That sounds like the ravings of a fascist.
We're going to be live here for the next 2 hours.
Before these rumors about government tyranny reach the mainstream, they often start with an extremely popular internet radio host, Alex Jones.
So we're going to look at the type of tyrants in the Obama administration. And
Jones claims he has 2 million listeners for his internet broadcasts and that millions more watch his YouTube broadcasts and his dozens of documentaries. He also has several websites full of articles supporting his fears of government oppression and a tyrannical New World Order.
They're basically looking at the federal government now as an occupying force, basically a foreign occupying force, a tyranny. And that justifies a lot of bad behavior.
Yes, this is the same guy who has been selling the idea that the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School and the massacre at Aurora, Colorado were actually fake. They were faked as an excuse to take away our guns and enslave us to the giant wasps who hive beneath the UN building or whatever. It's the same guy who says the Boston bombing was also fake. It was faked for political purposes. The same guy who says he doesn't believe the Columbia Space Shuttle disaster actually happened. He doesn't believe there was actually an Oklahoma City bombing. Naturally, of course, he also knows and sells the idea that 9/11 was an inside job. So that landing gear, that must be faked too. The conspiracy continues. In every tragedy, the InfoWars Alex Jones world thinks they see a conspiracy. Alex Jones should be disqualified from participating in Republican Party politics. His crackpot theories shouldn't prompt actual hearings in Congress, and they shouldn't inspire actual legislation in Congress, and you shouldn't do a money bomb on his show when you are running for Congress. Do not fundraise on this theater of the absurd by showing yourself to be one with this guy, really.
Listen, I'm here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
It's amazing because he runs InfoWars, and really smart people have come up to me and said, I just saw this on something from InfoWars. Do you know anything about it? And I'm like, yeah, stay away from it. Immediately discounted. Somebody came up to me just 2 days ago and said, we just bought like 1.5 billion rounds of Homeland Security. And I said, I don't know, it might be. Well, I got it from InfoWars. And I'm like, okay, well, no. Then I can tell you right now, it's most likely not true.
Is Alex overreacting, or is the 9/11 connection relevant?
Right. I think it's an overreaction, but also you're making some very serious allegations against the U.S. government, saying that they stage attacks, they allow them to occur in the United States against U.S. citizens.
Let's declassify.
What? No, what evidence do you have to support any of that?
Well, Gulf of Tonkin is very, very well documented.
The hashtag is InfoWars pickup lines. People are making up imaginary pickup lines for conspiracy theorists. The idea is that if you like InfoWars, which is a show hosted by a man named Alex Jones, if you like Glenn Beck and you like Alex Jones, who says we faked the moon landing, and that 9/11 was an elaborate hoax, and that it was secretly the White House that bombed the Boston Marathon. Michelle Obama was totally in on it. And also, there was no massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School. All of those things were hoaxes. They were all faked by the government so we can be enslaved in FEMA concentration camps with the black helicopters and have our organs harvested for the aliens or whatever. If you are one of those folks, if you are a conspiracy theorist who believes in the Glenn Beck, Alex Jones view of the world, well, that doesn't mean you don't need love.
Alex Jones may sound crazy, but still has 300 million YouTube. He had 300 million people that have watched him on YouTube, and that sort of fringe, arch-conservative, deeply, I think, racist strain is being tapped into at crazy profit by people in the media.
Well, it is, and I think that the point you just made is the key thing. At crazy profit, these folks are getting paid to be racist.
He is he's a really spooky guy.
Tonight, there are urgent calls for more airport security at LAX and airports across the country, as investigators are studying a shadowy subculture which may have encouraged a disturbed young man.
The TSA has a thankless job enforcing procedures we all tolerate through gritted teeth. A popular target.
No kidding. Who else wants a job groping men, women, and children all day?
Among some anti-government activists, the agency embodies a federal government that's too invasive, corrupt, and incompetent. But today, the U.S. Attorney General took strong exception.
No feelings about the government can possibly justify those kinds of actions.
In other words, it's no excuse for murder.
Challenge Alex Jones to a boxing match, show up with a semi-automatic that you got legally, and pop him.
I'd love to see that. In uniform.